Thunderstrike's coming to the game because people want to go ahead. People guessed it, people saw it, so now we're gonna see it with our favorite guy, Pat Daddy.
Don't know who Thunderstrike is. What can you tell us about him?
So Thunderstrike was just a regular Joe Schmo in Universe 616, but he got caught up in one of Thor's climactic battles. Actually helped him out, but he ended up losing his life over it. However, Odin being so impressed with just some random mortal helping out his son the way he did, he kind of merged Thor and Eric Masterson together. So Eric Masterson got access to Thor's thunder and lightning abilities. Eventually, Thor had to go away for a while. He wielded Mjolnir for a hot minute. But Thor returned, reclaimed Mjolnir, but he got his own hammer called Thunderstrike, which he takes his namesake from.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is there's hope for all of us to eventually become a superhero, right? Normal Joe Schmo.
Yeah, but do you really want to die in like a big battle? It's a bit of a coin toss at that point. I don't know.
Well, Thunderstrike is interesting in that I think for the first time we have a legendary duo who work better when they're together. So what made the team decide to do this for Thunderstrike and Blastar?
A lot of it has to do with the fact that we were designing Thunderstrike for Crucible, but we didn't want Thunderstrike to replace Blastar in the game. I mean, Blastar is still a pretty recent character. He's a lot of fun to play with. So it's like, well, instead of creating a character that you play in opposition to Blastar, why don't we design a character that's supposed to work with him and just really lean into it?
Okay, and we're going to learn
more
a bunch of different
pop
stuff
up.
about Thunderstrike today. So let's start by diving into his passive. So what makes his passive so special?
Well, the big part of it is that he's got an attack on his passive. So whenever he or any of his allies get attacked, he's going to retaliate with his own attack against the attacker. So it deals damage, but more importantly, there's also a health steal attached to the attack that heals himself and his Blastar ally.
Oh wow, so every time he gets attacked, he's not only going to be dealing damage, which he's going to have pretty stacked damage, but he's also getting additional health steal from characters. That's really cool. What other cool things are on his passive?
So he's got some powerful abilities that are only on before he takes a turn. So for example, he prevents the enemy team from increasing speed bar until he takes a turn. So if you have teams that have, on spawn, gain a bunch of speed bar, he shuts that down. But after he takes a turn, like the enemy team will be able to gain speed bar again. He also prevents his team from gaining defense down until his first turn is complete. And it also attached to that, he prevents the enemy team from gaining offense up during that time. He's also there to prevent, big alpha strikes from happening.
Thunderstrike also has a really powerful ultimate ability, so why don't you give us a rundown of what his ult does?
The first thing he does is that he applies blind to a random enemy support character. Him being a Crucible character, you can probably guess who that is. Just look at the Accursed team, figure out who their support is. But probably even more powerful is whoever his primary target is for his ultimate ability is going to lose 2 ultimate ability energy. So currently in Crucible, we have a lot of characters who open up with their ultimate. It's really powerful. It sets the pacing for the match. Thunderstrike is able to essentially shut that down.
Oh shit!
His ultimate is an all attack. So usually you don't have to worry about who you're targeting with your primary on your all attack, but because he's a legendary, he's part of a duo, he's designed for Crucible offense, we want players to think about what character are they selecting, and that's going to be really important for dictating the pacing for the matchups that he's in.
Yeah, so depending on what team you're going up against, you're really going to want to pay attention to who you're actually targeting with that attack. Even though it's an attack all, it matters based on that specific part of his kit. I think that's really cool. I also got to give props to the art team. The ultimate animation is probably one of the coolest ones I've seen in a while. So really excited for players to be seeing that as well. Jumping to his special, it also has blind. It's really focused on making his enemies miss here, which I guess makes sense with all that lightning flying around, am I right?
You're not supposed to look directly at a lightning strike. It's actually really bright.
But I want to look.
We don't want to see
Yeah, no,
defense
it's really
too.
cool. It's like,
You're straight
now it's the last thing I ever
anti-curse.
saw.
But yeah, what else can you tell us about?
Yeah,
his
he's
special?
there to mess up a
like
curse.
you said, it blinds on primary.
They ain't getting
But if
garbage.
he's on Crucible offense, he's got Blastar as an ally. He'll also blind all of the adjacent targets, as well as there's another health steal attached to this. Again, he heals himself and his Blastar ally.
What are you most looking forward to about Thunderstrike, Commanders? Make sure to leave a comment down below, and if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join our official Discord as well. Those links will be down in the description below. Let's jump back into the interview. Speaking of Blastar, something we haven't really said yet is that not only will Blastar obviously be assisting on his basic ability, but he has callouts in Thunderstrike's abilities as well, right? On the special and on the ult.
Yes. On both of those abilities, he specifically says to call a Blastar ally to attack his primary target.
Okay, and you and I were talking a little bit earlier today about what that actually means. I think it would make sense to kind of explain.
Yeah, I don't know.
Folks at home.
I know exactly what you're talking about. So we have a lot of characters that say like, hey, you prevent like assist chance from going off, or you prevent the assist now proc. This isn't either of those things because this is
thinking about it.
Actually through his normal action call. This assist will go through even if you're going up against a team that says you have 0% chance to assist.
Right. I mean, a curse as a primary example of this, right? I mean, they have a call out too. You can't get any assist, but this isn't actually an assist. So Blastar will be able to still gain those stacks of bombs.
Yeah, so think of it more of like, you know, what Red Skull does when he's like, I call all my allies on one of his abilities to attack a single target.
Quasar is already really powerful now.
Thunderstrike really does seem to shine when he's paired with Blastar, which is what we've been talking about this entire video. But what teams can we expect this new duo to be able to take on that Blastar couldn't handle alone?
Yeah, so he is going to be able to take on things like a Curse with Azazel, Starjammers, so and a lot of those other like kind of powerful Crucible teams. But again, you're kind of in this weird situation with a duo because many of our more recent Crucible teams require at least 4 characters with their trait. Or even their entire team is with like Immortal X-Men or Starjammers. So, but we have another duo in Crucible right now in the form of Phoenix Force. So Phoenix and Omega Red Phoenix, and I'm sure people can figure out how to add a powerful 5th solo to a team like that. So, and also Phoenix Force might be getting some more characters in the future. So you'll have a trio and a duo to put together in Crucible. So definitely a lot of different teams you can make with Blastar.
Ain't no
and
Gamma
Thunderstrike.
Thunderstrike. Get the fuck out of here.
Again, leaves a lot of room for theory crafting. But yes, if you can find the correct 3 other characters to put them with, they should be able to take down a Curse with Azazel and Starjammers and those other really powerful Crucible teams.
Okay, very cool. Well, I think that's all we have today. I guess I'll ask one final question. What are you most excited about with Thunderstrike, you personally?
That's a really good question. Honestly, what I was most pleased about is in our early pitches for Thunderstrike, where we were trying to figure out what to do with him. I was like, you know, I think it would be a lot easier if we just made him a support character. And I didn't expect that to really go anywhere, and it actually became really important for figuring out how where this character's footing was going, and it made it really easy to make him a duo for Blastar.
Okay, and you know, I think maybe we toss in a little spoiler, but I mean, he's a support character. Eventually, this whole team is going to come together, all these legendaries with Annihilus at the end. Maybe that lends itself to being able to support that team when it comes as well.
Yeah, I mean, currently he just supports himself and Blastar, but it's really easy to expand that to other things, but we'll see.
We'll see. I'm certainly looking forward to it, and it's always great to have you here, Byron, and thanks so much for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's so much fun doing a Strike Spot with you.
Well, I'm looking forward to the next one.
Me too.
I think they're gonna do an APOC horse or something where the characters came out, and then once APOC, they add stuff to where they work together.
I hope they have a little bit more synergy than Apocalypse and the Horsemen, because they like, it was good that they were like together, but APOC and the Horsemen weren't really like, I felt like they were just there and then poof, they moved on to the next. It was just get your APOC, get your teams, and you're done. APOC and the Horsemen didn't stick around for a little while. These guys are going to stick around for a while.
I hated APOC Horseman Arena meta because I didn't get APOC until I think a full year later. I had baby APOC like 9 months later. I didn't get big APOC to full year later. And by then we had Seer Defenders.
Yeah, I'm excited only because of his kit and what it does. Stealing some ultimate ability energy. Yeah. So he's gonna be able to be big all around, which is nice. But you're gonna have to put him teamed up with Blastar and probably a couple of legendaries with it. Yeah, this one's gonna be a really weird team that they're putting together, but I think it'll come together once we start seeing the others. So this is looking crazy.
I wonder how they're gonna fare against Starjammers. Because the curse should be faster and it makes sense. Starjammer shuts down speed and speed bar. So I don't know how
which
that
means
will work.
probably the next legendary will probably stop speed. So you got Thunderstrike there to stop the speed bar. You got the next legendary that says, screw your speed. But then they got to deal with, what's it called too? Any of the other garbage that they start off with. Which probably one of those will probably go and make sense. But we won't know until we see it.
Doesn't Quasar's kit stop speed?
In War only.
Yeah, I know that's a
In
war only thing.
War only.
And war only in war.
Speed
but
and speed
what
bar.
if there's something in Annihilus's kit? Yeah, what if Annihilus's kit unlocks all their stuff that it's not mode
That
specific?
would be I think a little too broken. It'd be nice to have hope for. I worry more about war and what that will change in there than I do CC. Because having all of Blastar and War is scary.
Right, I'm just saying, like, out of everything, there's still a fourth tomb that's coming for this team in the Nihilus.
Right, and it would be an Annihilus. So I see what you're getting at, Midnight, and that would be cool for him to activate like all, basically it could say activate all abilities on all characters in any game mode, which would be hilarious. It'd be hilarious, but they would be around a lot longer than APOC and the Horsemen were, because they were there for a minute and then poof, they got pushed right out. So I think it's going to be a interesting team. But Thunderstrike looks... See, they could have did this to Thor, yet they said, nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and bring in Thunderstrike, and you'll get the feel of him, but you're not really getting Thor. We're not building him up. So, too bad for you.